Well, if it isn't football fans all over the world gathering to discuss the latest Premier League shenanigans, and by shenanigans I mean Arsenal's ruthless 3-0 win over Albion, or as I like to call it, how to turn a seagull into a sitting duck. Now picture this. Arsenal, like a hawk swooping down on its prey, reclaimed the top spot in the Premier League with a clinical display of football finesse. The Albion Seagulls, on the other hand, seem to have forgotten they had wings. The struggle to maintain possession against Arsenal's high press was like watching a toddler wrestle with a Rubik's Cube. Quite entertaining, I must say, but a tad bit frustrating for the Seagulls, I'd imagine. As the match progressed, it became increasingly clear that Albion's defense was about as effective as a chocolate teapot. Despite their best efforts, the Seagulls were breached not once, not twice, but 3 times. A hat trick of goals that left Albion fans with a bitter taste in their mouths and Arsenal fans grinning from ear to ear. So, there we have it, folks. A match that saw more goals than Albion's defense could handle, and by that I mean 3. Yes, just 3. Now, let's delve into the juicy part, the goals, or as Albion's goalkeeper might call them, nightmares. First up, Bukayo Saka. He was as cool as a cucumber in a walk-in fridge, slicing through the Albion defense like a hot knife through butter. His goal was a thing of beauty. A masterpiece that Picasso himself would have been proud to call his own. It was as if he had a map of the goal in his mind and the ball was just following the dotted line. Next we have Kai Havertz. Now this guy was like a surgeon operating with precision. He didn't just score a goal, he dissected the Albion defense, carefully removing any hope they might have had of a clean sheet. It was clinical, it was ruthless, it was downright hilarious if you were an Arsenal fan, but the real icing on the cake, the cherry on top, was Leandro Trossard's goal. The way he danced around the Albion defenders, you'd think he was auditioning for a role in Swan Lake. It was pure poetry in motion, a ballet of football that left the Albion defence spinning like tops. And oh, the Albion defence. They were like deer, caught in the headlights, frozen in time as Arsenal's trio danced around them. If they were a movie, they'd be a horror film, with each goal a new jump scare. And let's not forget the goalkeeper, poor chap. He must have felt like he was playing dodgeball with a firing squad. And just like that, Arsenal's trio turned the game into a shooting practice. One could say the Albion's net saw more action than a trampoline at a kid's birthday party. As the final whistle blew, one could almost hear the collective sigh of Albion's fans. Or was that just the wind? In any case, the echoes of that sigh were drowned out by the thunderous applause from the Gunners' supporters, celebrating a well-deserved victory. So let's take a step back and paint the picture of the match. Arsenal, like a relentless tide, washed over Albion with a display of football that was as ruthless as it was elegant. The Gunners' dominance was palpable, their high press suffocating, and their finishing clinical. 3 goals, 3 different scorers, Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz, and Leandro Trossard, each adding their own brushstroke to this masterful performance. The puppeteers behind the scenes were none other than Gabriel, Martin Odegaard, and Jorginho. These maestros orchestrated the game with such finesse that one could only sit back and admire, unless, of course, you were an Albion fan. Now, let's talk about the spectators, all 31,677 of them. That's more people than you'll find in some small towns. I mean, if everyone from that match decided to form their own town, they'd probably have a better football team than some we know. No offense, Albion, but let's face it, football is a funny old game. One day you're the Seagulls soaring high, the next you're wondering why you didn't just stay home, put your feet up and watch a good old British drama. And there we have it, folks. Arsenal reclaiming their throne, Albion rethinking their strategy, and 31,677 spectators wondering why they didn't just stay home and watch a good old British drama. But hey, that's football for you. Until the next match, keep your cleats clean and your hopes high.